D&Dark is an absurd, over-the-top comedy horror adventure that is intended for older audiences. Content warnings can be found in the episode descriptions. Hello and welcome to D&Dark, a comedy horror adventure Realplay podcast loosely based on mechanics from Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, and starring some of history's most infamous monsters. I'm Danger Dan Jerz, and I'm your host, / Crypt Keeper. This episode, we did things a little differently. Since the team is separated, the players are too. So, this episode, you'll hear the events from one half of the team, and next episode, you'll hear the events of the other half of the team. And neither one of them knows what the other half is up to, so the players are just as in the dark as their characters.
Hello, my name is Daniel Cruz, and I play Imhotep the Mummy. And our last session ended quite interestingly. We finally got to meet our good friend Larry's, who I thought was his patron, Maleva. What a lovely woman, I might add. Just super sweet. I love her. And before that, I got to talk Jack down literally from a flying broom, which was interesting.
Hello, I'm Ben Magnet. I play Mary Frankenstein, aka Frankenstein's monster. And last time I was ready to have this big, epic anime showdown between me and wolf form Larry, because I got to see our good friend Larry Talbot transform into a werewolf right before my eyes. I was like, okay, let's do this. Let's get ready to rumble. And I get my ass handed to me on a silver platter. Oh my gosh, that thing is tough. So, after realizing that I was in real danger, thankfully the wolf said, yeah, no, this guy ain't much of a challenge. And with the help of the Phantom, he and I were able to make sure villagers did not become Larry's lunch. And now our friends are in the dream realm while myself and Imhotep are outside.
Alright, so where we last left off, the Phantom and the Wolfman were both pulled into the dream world via Sycorax, with the Invisible Man following closely behind. He just took off away from you guys towards Sycorax and dove off into the dream world to go in after them.
Maleva, if Sycorax has people in her dream world, does that mean that she herself is conscious, or is she in a half-awake sort of state?
From what I understand, she is in both worlds at once, but her attention is divided.
So if we can distract her attention to myself and Imhotep, will that give our friends in the dream world a better chance of accomplishing their mission?
I would give her a nice dance like I did with the other one, but I'm afraid my flashy light show is not as useful until I can get a nice chance to recuperate.
And unfortunately, I'm pretty beat up myself. That werewolf is absolutely no joke. I was a fool to think I could at least subdue it for a while.
As you talk about that, Imhotep kind of looks at you and just kind of goes, as a god, I understand its strength. He just kind of says that to him, just kind of quietly. He's scheming. He's thinking about stuff.
Do I hear you say that, or is that just to yourself?
Yeah, no, he says it out loud, but it's kind of uncharacteristically contemplative. He's kind of thinking out loud is what he's doing up there.
My skeletal friend, you seem troubled by all this. I understand that it is a lot to take in, but Lawrence's manifestation of this great wolf, it is vulnerable. It is around for only one night out of the month, but it is incredibly dangerous, as you have seen for yourself. If there is anything I can do to assuage you, and to help you bring peace to Lawrence and to minimize the damage that it causes, that is my path and my journey.
He kind of looks still lost in thought for a second before he kind of looks back up to Maleva. I have no qualms with this wolf, but I understand its strength, and I understand the turmoil it brings to Larry, and I will fight to preserve his soul.
I'm still not 100% sure on whether that was a god or an extreme freak of nature, but whatever it is hurting our friend. And if our friend wants to survive, we need to make sure that this witch doesn't get what she wants.
Then I would recommend you make all due haste to follow in Lawrence's tracks. He went off in that direction, I believe towards the witch Sycorax. If you want to follow after him, that might be your best chance to restrain him. and to keep him safe from their clutches. They are each after his power in some way, shape, or form, and I fear what may happen if any one of them manages to get a stranglehold on him.
Very well. Come, Mary. Let us be on our way.
Let's go. Out of curiosity, Imhotep, I know I'm different from the others, but any chance you can do a little something to patch me up a little bit?
I have mending, so I can do mending.
Yay, mending works.
I'm going to walk up to Mary, lay my hand on him. He's going to cast the spell Healing Word. Do you feel any different?
Oh? Is that supposed to do something?
He starts muttering to himself, if only he was technically alive, I could use it. I could do this, but he is not, so I cannot. And it is almost, if he was a rope, I could fix him. And he puts his hand on him as he like accidentally casts mending as he's complaining about the fact that he can't heal him.
And then, so like, I'm looking at him, I'm just confused. I was like, wait, what do you mean I'm not alive? I'm standing and breathing, right? Oh, that worked.
So I get to use the 1d4 plus my spellcasting modifier?
Yes.
Okay. So that is 10. 3 plus 7.
Yay! That's so much better than, I'm still kind of in the shit house, but I'm much better now. Let's just hope that this Sycorax isn't much of a fight.
If I understand correctly, witches are not usually very large in stature. We should be fine.
Oh, that's not what I'm worried about.
You make your way towards a little drier area with some more dead brush towards a destroyed house with a lot of sand kind of spread throughout, and you see in the center, at 15 feet tall, bigger than she was before, Sister Sycorax is just closing a bag.
My jaw is just agape, and I just glare at him. I was like, small and feeble, he says. Not gonna be a big deal, he says.
Imhotep kind of looks at him. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
And she has not noticed you yet.
She has, I just love the idea of like, not going to be a problem. He said, she's small and feeble. He said, it's like that voice just kind of echoing a little bit. And she's just like not hearing it.
That sound travels directly under her ears.
Oh, thank God.
That's not how this works, Dan. That's not how sound works.
In our fantasy world of Britannia, it does.
And then the sound catches up to her. And she looks back towards the two of you, gives a big ol' grin, and kneels down to get closer to your level.
I do not like this.
Neither do I.
It looks like more reinforcements are coming. Do you want to go in after your friends?
And she holds open the bag again.
No, I have my own, thank you very much. And I pat the bag of holding.
You know, I'm not a big fan of bags at the moment.
All right, suit yourself.
Before she closes the bag, she gives a little puff of air and a little bit of sand spills out of the bag and kind of nestles around at her feet.
So what can I do for you?
I nudge Imhotep. I'm like, you talk.
Dear Sister Sycorax, we have come to have a discussion.
All right, what is it you wish to know?
Our friends, as you have said, are inside of your bag there.
In a sense, that's massively oversimplifying how this works, but you're not entirely wrong.
I kind of pick the bag of holding up. I imagine it works something like this, and I reach my entire arm into it.
Roll a d20.
Oh, no. 10.
Nothing happens.
So, yeah, he reaches his arm in, pulls it all the way up to his shoulder, then pulls the arm back out.
Ah, well, that is a pretty apt metaphor. Again, still oversimplifying things a little bit, but you're not entirely wrong.
Is there a chance that I can do an Arcana check on some of the sand that fell out of the bag, or am I too far away from it?
Go ahead and roll Arcana. It is at disadvantage because you're exhausted.
Of course it is. God damn it. Nat 1.
With a nat 1, it's sand.
I could just think of like Anakin Skywalker. I don't like sand.
Imhotep, roll Arcana.
23.
23, the sand is slowly moving closer to you.
My eyes kind of glance down at the sand, and I take a step backwards. And as I do, I also motion my hand and like motion Mary to step back as well.
She sees you taking a step back. Her grin widens a little bit.
What's the matter? I won't lay a finger on you, I promise.
I could have swore that you were a lot smaller than your sisters. out of curiosity, how exactly were you able to grow this size? I haven't seen or really met anything bigger than myself until a few hours ago.
Vordenberg.
Oh, well, that's right, Vordenberg. Besides him. Oh, yep, that's right.
Well, I certainly admire how hard you are trying right now, and I see what you lack in intelligence you make up for in effort. So, I will grant you that much. My power is linked to the dream realm, and I have just gained a lot more power within the dream realm.
And she stands up and kind of hunches over you.
I'm looking at her and hear that intelligence smile. I was like, well, I would be offended, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't know whose brain this was before it came into my possession. So who knows? It could have been the brain of a dullard. I honestly have no idea. But a dream realm. So are you there right now?
I am in many places at once right now.
How many exactly?
Oh, here and there.
And then the sand moves closer to you and kind of circles around you.
And there.
Imhotep, again, takes a step back. You say that you will not lay a finger on us, and I believe you. I believe that you are being truthful with me. Kind of gives her a look.
Oh, how precocious of you. Yes, let's drop the pretenses. The sand will take you into the dream realm, which it would be beneficial for you to be in if you want to rescue your friends.
I cannot speak for my friend here, but at the risk of sounding super fucking arrogant, I do not think you need more power. As my bandages kind of start to flow and write almost runes in the air. And I'm going to kind of use my thaumaturgy. Can I cheat a little bit with thaumaturgy and my effect where my eyes change color?
Roll performance.
This will be fun. Let's see. 5.
With a 5, she sees your performance and the sand kind of shifts away from you closer towards Mary.
Aww. Aww.
Dude! Ah, shit. I do see the sand coming towards me, right?
You do see the sand coming towards you.
He watches the sand stop and move back towards Mary.
Although I would rather you be within my dream realm, you are still of use to me in the waking world. I see into everyone's dreams and extract their most precious secrets. Except for my sisters. You've been dealing with Mother Carrionite and Granny Grimhilda. Tell me, what have you learned from them?
A bunch of bitches, that's for sure.
Basically, yeah, actually. Yes, I agree very much.
Inspiration.
For me?
Yeah.
Yay!
Oh yes, I agree. And I want to see them put in their place. See, I'm the underestimated one of the coven, and I want that to change. I see an opportunity. I see openings for power. And I want this coven to be mine. I will let you go if you can put my sisters in their place.
If you're the underestimated one, how come you can't just take this power for yourself?
Well, you see, my power's a bit more nebulous. It exists primarily in the realm of dreams.
And your sisters do not dream?
The two of them do not dream. As you can see, my form's a little less corporeal in the waking world.
And she brings a hand down around you, Frankenstein monster, and it kind of phases through you.
Gross.
And for Frankenstein, I'm just like, yes, this is all for show. This is just an illusion. This bitch is stealing a page from Eric's book. How dare she?
Are you stealing my friend's thunder, bitch?
Pretty much. I'm like, oh. So this giant form that I see before me is just... Pardon my words, I do not mean this to sound harshly as it is, but just really for show. You are not 15 said feet tall?
Many things can be true simultaneously.
So no.
And she grows both bigger and smaller. She kind of double images One grows to 20 feet, one shrinks to 5 feet, and then the two meet back in the middle at 15.
Interesting.
What do we stand to gain from this?
You stand to gain your lives.
As she says your lives, I look at myself, this ragged corpse. I then look at Mary, also a bunch of ragged corpse pieces. And I kind of look back at her. I think you'll need to find something a little bit more than living.
I start chuckling when she starts saying living. It's like, living? Oh, good Lord. My life specifically?
Fair enough. I believe you need a demonstration.
And she's going to cast Bestow Curse on Imhotep.
Oh no, I pissed her off.
Imhotep, make a wisdom saving throw.
Roll high, roll high, roll high.
16.
17.
Damn it!
Son of a bitch.
You feel something about your essence change within you. And she says,
I'm growing weary of this conversation. I should like you to make it more entertaining.
and you are cast with the curse of rhyming. Everything you say, until this curse is removed, must rhyme. Every sentence basically must have a rhyming couplet to follow, and every time you don't, you get one ticker on a counter, and every time you roll the dice, you subtract the tickers on the counter.
I hate this, my god. It's just so odd.
Oh my god. Daniel, I am so sorry. I pissed her off.
I have an important question for you, Dan. Do I have to rhyme out of character, man?
Yes, you do.
I hate this so much. Our rhymes are hard and such.
That's more like it. I am so much more delighted by this turn of events.
Imhotep's eyes starts to twitch. I am not very happy about this witch.
Oh, you don't have to be happy about it. Just go along with it. Or suffer the consequences, that's up to you.
Consequences being...
Fuck a duck. He looks back with eyes of red. You get the feeling of his dread.
Oh my god.
I know that the appropriate fear was instilled in your friend, but I want to make sure the same is true of you.
And she casts Phantasmal Killer.
Alright, so roll for a wisdom save?
Yep.
You got it. Unnatural 20.
Oh. An ethereal finger kind of reaches out towards your head and starts to pull an illusory image from it that then fizzles out. And a look of realization dawns on her as she says,
Oh, I see. You have no imagination. Well, that makes that anticlimactic.
Wait, seriously? I have no imagination?
interpret that how you will.
Oh, this bitch. I just look at her as like, well, remember, I was only born 2 years ago. But maybe I could learn.
Ah, that will do it. So, is there anything else that I can tell you? Or are we just wasting each other's time?
Daniel, above table, what do you want to do? Because talking's not working.
I'll be honest with you, at this time, I'm spending a lot more time having to think of my rhymes.
I understand.
So the sand starts to spin around you a little bit faster and then forms an arrow pointing back. And she says,
If you want me to show mercy to your friends, then I suggest that you cause a little bit of trouble for Granny Groomhilda. After all, she's the only one among us who can save Lawrence without the werewolf.
I look at the witch, this evil bitch. You doubt our friends. We will see how this all ends.
All right.
I just like give her a look of just like pure hatred. Look over to Imhotep. I motion to him to leave her area. As like,
I turn to go, and on a rock, I stub my toe.
okay, Imhotep, I can see that all you can do is rhyme. And I can only imagine about how, you know, that bitch said I had no imagination. As I flip off in that direction, I can only believe that is insane. So I'm just going to ask you a bunch of yes or no questions. And all you have to do is just nod your head. Will that suffice?
In character for the time. Out of character, I'll still need to rhyme.
Damn it. Yay or nay? Just answer back. Yay or nay. That's all you need to do. Then it's like yay rhymes with nay. Yes, perfect. What rhymes with yay?
Nay.
Aha! Okay. So she told us to take care of her. She told us to find her secrets. Do you think that bringing her head back but bringing Grand Groom Hilda's head would work? Probably not.
I say nay.
This is hard.
Okay, you don't have to keep up the rhyming thing out of character anymore.
Thank God, Dan. Oh my God.
Oh my God, yes.
That was an instant mistake. Yeah, no, you can. You don't have to do the rhyming thing out of character.
Oh my.
Like in character, I'm like, okay, fine. But out of character, I'm like, oh fuck. Oh. So I can't just nod and shake my head, and I can just be fine with that for now.
You can just.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank God. Okay. So, do we think bringing her head back will work?
No.
Shake his head.
Okay.
She wishes at this hour to have over her sisters even more power.
Yeah, but Maleva told us that she likes deals. Do you think we can outsmart her enough to make a bargain that she will ultimately lose? Because the thing is, she says she'll honor her agreements, but she won't. So we need to figure out a way to make her lose, and make her lose bad. Because every time one of these witches wants something, it's going to put us in even deeper and deeper into their clutches until we're nothing.
I'm trying to think about how to use the coin effectively with Grimhilda. Because the coin is a tool for Grimhilda, I can tell. How do I want to use this? What do we want to wager with her?
What does the coin do again?
For context, this is the coin that Maleva gave them.
The coin, when you flip it, it always lands tails. Depending on it, it can give like vague hints of the future, being either lucrative, neutral, uncertain, or ruinous. But the thing is, it's just parlor tricks. There's nothing to it.
Okay.
But I'm trying to think of the way to use this coin for a wager with her.
You hear kind of raspily from your bag and from your clutches the voice of Vordenberg breach through the lantern. If I may offer...
I pull the lantern out. What do you have to say before I have to put you back away?
If I may offer some unprompted advice. These witches, they seem greedy. They seem power hungry. What do you have to wager that will give them power over each other? I am terrified to say this, but you have me. Please don't lose the wager.
You would wager your soul that we may attain our goal.
My soul's already gone. You've seen the damage it's caused. Well, not mine, but the facsimile of mine. It's all technicalities, but...
I'm about to say his eyes kind of raise as he says that. As he says, like, you've seen. He's just like, His eyes are just saying, I felt.
As much as part of me wants to give you away, Vordenberg, for all the things you've done, as much as I hate to say it, we need you. What about...
I appreciate that, but again, not really me. That was like a false doppelganger of me, and it was...
Semantics, we'll talk later. But I have something else. I mean, it might not work. We could probably use you as a plan B, but something I wanted to talk to you guys about, especially you, as I look over to Imhotep, because you're honestly the most magically inclined of all of us. This that I stupidly grabbed out of the bog earlier, and I point to the sword on my back. When I was using this sword, when I was fighting the goo monster, there was this power. And it's not like when I go into a rage. There was this need to kill, to satiate a bloodlust that I have never experienced in my entire life. And it was dangerous. And I could feel that I would do nothing until my enemy laid at my feet dead.
The blade seems to be cursed. In order to remove it, I will need to wait for a verse.
Do you think we can offer this? I mean, it was in their bog, so they may already know about it, but do you think that we can maybe offer this and...
if I may...
Go for it.
Sounds like you're talking about the Sword of Vengeance. I wouldn't go wasting your magic on it. It's more so than an enchantment, it's possessed. So, standard curse removal's not gonna do it.
Great. But do you think the witches would want it?
It depends on how you sell it, maybe.
I look over to Imhotep as like, do you think maybe trying to offer the sword to Groomhilda would be a good way for her to get a one-up on her sisters?
He shakes his head.
Okay.
The hard part right now is the fact that this is like, I'm trying to think, but I'm also having to think in rhyme. You know what? Imhotep is gonna. I believe that it would be a good idea for us to wager the soul of Ordenburg against the witch and use the coin as a way to use a game to get her to bargain with us. We use the coin and we play a game. We are able to get her to predict her future properly using the coin. As we know, the coin will not be very good. Then we may be able to keep our hands on this and be able to get something else out of it. I'm going to take the negative penalty on this one because this is the best I can do for my plan. And I have to say it in more than 2 sentences, Dan.
That's going to be a -3.
What?
But good on you.
Hate it. Okay. As that happens, I imagine he just kind of goes, "Nyeh," like a little twitch.
So that will only apply to the next roll you make, and then it resets back to 0.
Okay, thank God.
Back where you left her is Groomhilda by a shrine to this lotus flower off in the distance. And she is going through her pockets, muttering to herself as she's clearly looking around.
Now, where did it go? I could have sworn they gave me back that... Oh, those little tricksters. Well, I'll just have to get them back for it.
And she still has not seen you. She's going through her pockets and still staring at the lotus flower.
Well, never mind that. I'll steal myself a little bit of time and what?
Where's the watch?
Oh, well, I do have to admire they really got one over on me.
How do I want to approach this? How do I want to approach this witch? How do I want to approach this witch?
I mean, I was gonna straight up say it's like, tricksters, takes one to know one, you cheating bitch.
What was that?
And she looks over her shoulder.
Nothing.
Looks over, eyes turn red, straight-faced.
I'm sorry.
And she looks over in your direction and hears a little bit of commotion as you guys are approaching. Her eyes kind of light up a little bit, and she begins to walk towards you, the ground kind of wilting beneath her steps as she approaches.
I see you've returned. Is there anything more good old Granny can do for you?
You have the time to help me remove these rhymes? He just kind of snarkily just kind of tosses that out.
Oh, I see Sycorax got you that one. She enjoyed the Shakespearean arts a little more than I. Mother Carrionite is the one who would really appreciate that, but it's not out of character for Sycorax to indulge a little bit. She gets rather creative with her curses.
Say that again.
Imhotep pulls the coin. I'm trying to think about the exact game. He takes the coin and kind of runs it between his knuckles again. You have come tonight to play a game. We hope that you will do the same.
Oh, do go on, dearie. I cannot resist a game. What is it you're laying down on the line?
And she takes another step forward, and you can feel a little bit of the plant life beneath you and behind you kind of wiggle and nudge you forward.
I don't like this. I don't like this.
A game of coin, a game of chance, to see which one of us will dance.
I'm listening. I still have a few trinkets left up my sleeve that might entice you. Are things going well with our lycanthropic friend? Or has he been taken into Sycorax's dream realm?
Very well indeed. Of you, we have no true need. It's gonna kind of straight lie.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Roll perception.
Both of us or just him?
Both of you, sure. And at advantage.
19!
11, with the -3 modifier.
Imhotep, with your 11, you feel a slight chill going up your bones and on your person, but you can't quite tell what exactly is happening. With your 19, Frankenstein monster, as you take a look over to Imhotep, the robe of useful items is covered in ears.
Human ears?
Human ears that were not there a moment ago bubble up and recede back into it. And Grimhilda lets out a little bit of a light cackle.
It is delightful to see one such as you get a chill up your spine. I've been listening in on your exploits, and I know you're in very dire straits. But I know how desperate you are. Sycorax will not help you, but I can.
And she pulls out a pendant with a closed lotus flower on it. The leaves are all bulbed up.
This is the only item that will help dear Lawrence and separate him from his curse. It, of course, is not in bloom yet, but upon the day of the next full moon, this lotus flower will bloom, and if it is in the possession of one who is good of heart, they may change one event on their personal timeline. For as you know, there's nothing we can do to separate him from his wolf, but if the curse was never his to begin with...
You see, that item does sound very nice, but I have a little problem trusting you, Granny Groomhilda.
Imhotep nods as you say this.
Well, last time I was here, you promised to give him something that would help him. I would presume it was that locket you're holding. And he gave you something very valuable in return, and yet you did not uphold your end of the bargain. Now, why would we, as someone who has seen your outright lies firsthand, ever want to try and bargain with you again? Even though you may know like almost exactly what's going on, as I look over the Imhotep and I motion to be like, look at the robe, look at the robe, look at the robe.
He tilts his head a little bit and looks down and sneers at the coat.
Now, of course, you have something that we want. We have something that you want. But what is going to actually make you uphold your end of the bargain?
Well, that is yet to be seen. You have not presented anything I want.
Oh, we have something you do want. I look over and I shake my head to Imhotep to bring Vordenberg's soul lantern out.
Oh, very interesting. See, now I understand why you might be hesitant to part with that. So, let me make it a little easier for you.
And she tosses the pendant into the middle in the ground between you, and as it hits the ground, a bunch of fungi sprout from the ground around it and kind of close over it like a cage as they all interlock and hold it down.
That doesn't seem like very fun, guys. You gave it. It had to be done.
Daniel, I love you, but why?
All right, you have to do the rhyming out of character again.
I will not apologize for art.
It is no longer in my hands. It is now in neutral territory. If you do the same with yours, then the wager can begin.
Hold up. I want to do a perception on her when she says neutral territory. Can I see if she's lying that it truly is neutral territory, or if it's like she has control of plants?
Roll perception.
Oh, shit! 17 plus 5, unnatural 22.
With the 22, you don't get the impression that she will take the item from you before the wager is done. You are fairly certain she will not uphold her word after the wager. But until that coin is tossed and the outcome's resolved, everything in the middle is in limbo.
Okay. I slink back over. I'm just like, just give me a moment. We know she's not going to give it up. Once we play this game, I'm fairly certain she's going to try and take those items for herself. So the second she gets them out of limbo, I will rush in and take them back. Consequences be damned. We need something.
And Vordenberg says to you, "It's no worse than the situation I was in before, but do be quick on the draw."
I'll do my best.
Having a hell of a time thinking of these rhymes.
Do I want to give up my inspiration so Daniel doesn't have to rhyme anymore?
If you do, he's cured.
Yeah, I'll give it up.
Okay. So Daniel, you are cured of the curse of rhyming.
Imhotep looks over at Mary and goes, "Wow, thank you for doing such a strange thing in the fabric of nature and the gods, and I do not fully understand. I would like to grant to you an inspiration that I gained earlier this session. Thank you." And I'm giving him my inspiration back.
Can you do that?
So yeah, Ben, you get 1 point of inspiration. Daniel, you lose your inspiration.
But I don't have to rhyme.
But you don't have to rhyme. Mostly because it was less entertaining than I thought it would be.
I'm trying to think of something that I could do to Imhotep. You know what? As I'm talking to Imhotep and whispering between two of us, as I put my hand on him, I subconsciously realize I'm going to have to sacrifice something in order for this to work. So I sacrifice my inspiration.
Through the power of friendship, I lose my rhyming.
As you kind of put your hand on his skull, an electric jolt leaves you and passes through him, knocks him out for half a second, and then he gets back up.
I just jumpstart.
Okay, that works.
So he kind of rolls his neck a little bit, looks at Vordenberg. We will be as quick as we can. I will do what I can to restrain her in the few moments that we will have.
Grimhilda says, as you guys are kind of readying yourself and as you're pulling out the coin,
"Oh, so is it just a simple heads or tails? Or what exactly is the nature of our wager? Of course, if I win, I get the soul of the Baron Vordenberg. If you win, you get the Lotus Pendant. But tell me what it is we are winning or losing upon."
Your future.
"Oh, go on."
As you have guessed, the coin has two sides. One of them is heads, one of them is tails. One of these sides will tell your future. I will toss the coin, and you will guess the outcome of your own future. If you are correct, you win. If you do not like what you see, I'm afraid I do not have the control of the fates. But I do know that the coin does not lie.
roll performance.
Can I roll persuasion?
You can roll persuasion.
Thank God, I'm better in persuasion than the rest. 12.
With a 12, she cocks her head a little bit and sneers.
"I appreciate as one cheater to another. Take your thumb off the back. We toss it up, and we let it come up how it will. No influence over the outcome. I believe it will be lucrative."
So he takes the coin and he holds it on the edges so that she can see that he's not, doing anything with it.
And that is enough for her. Whenever you are ready, roll a d4.
And it is neutral, a 2.
With this coin coming up neutral, a jolt goes through her and she twitches, and she spreads her hands apart. The fungi unfurl from around the pendant.
"Well played. What's fair is fair."
I go to get it, never once taking my eyes off of her.
She stands back upright, brings up a little talon towards you,
I knew it.
and says,
"Well done."
goes to nick you, and then sees that you don't get infected with the fell feral fever.
I grab her by the neck.
She, through strained throat, says,
You broke your word, so I break mine.
From behind Imhotep, you hear a rustling in the bushes from behind you, and you feel the earth beneath you kind of start to tremble a little bit. And out in front of you, from out of the ground, a badger pops up.
Badger.
And it is foaming at the mouth, its eyes red. And from behind you, blocking you in, an elk jumps out of the bushes from behind you, similarly foaming at the mouth and rabid, and rears up its antlers, kind of forcing you in.
I bring her close in. You're lucky I'm not here to kill you. And I shove her, and I'm still holding on to the pendant.
And as you throw Grimhilda back, she starts to fall towards the floor and does not hit it because she has contorted herself into a bird.
Gross.
She flutters herself back and then poofs back into her humanoid form, raises a finger, and calls forth the animals that are on either side of you, Imhotep, that force you further in, and you are all in combat. So everyone roll initiative.
Never mind, this bitch is asking for it.
Should I roll for my two guys here, or are they just going to go when I go?
They're going to go when you go.
Okay, I rolled a 5.
I look back at her and I'm just like, big mistake.
Well, that is easy for you to say. You are not being cornered by an angry badger and an elk.
Don't worry, I'm on my way to you. I put the pendant around my neck and I tuck it underneath my shirt. And my initiative is a 10.
So Grimhilda will go first, and like how we're doing your 2 soldiers, her 2 animals will go with her.
Okay.
She is going to raise her hands up as a wall of fungus comes out in front of her and bursts out into spores. And she is going to send those spores reaching out towards both of you. That's going to be a 12 against you, Frankenstein monster.
Oh, that misses.
Like how the fell feral fever had no effect on you, the poison of these spores does nothing to you. And she looks with concern as nothing happens. So she's going to call for the giant badger, who will swing around and make a multi-attack at you. A 17.
That hits.
And a 14. So the second one does not hit. After your resistance to it, 1 damage.
Oh no. And the Sword of Vengeance takes hold, I assume?
If you haven't drawn it, then it hasn't.
I haven't yet, but I'm about to.
So not yet. Then the elk is going to attack Imhotep.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
So it's going to run and circle around to pick up speed and ram you.
Okay.
15.
Since I still have that robe, it's only 11, so that hits.
So that's going to deal... That's going to deal 11 damage.
Okay.
And that is it. So, Mary, it's over to you.
Sweet. So as the badger comes and nicks me, I just give it a look, draw the Sword of Vengeance. I know it's cursed, but at this point, I know who my target is. And I have this devilish grin as I go into a rage, and I'm going to Thunderbolt.
Okay. So she will make a dexterity saving throw.
She is in the badger?
Oh, you're going for the badger?
Because she's controlling these. My plan is to kill the animals first, then go to Grimhilda.
That is a 17 on the dexterity save.
Yeah, so it makes it.
So it tunnels under the ground and narrowly avoids it as the lightning comes down, and then pops back up 5 feet in front of it.
Oh, you're annoying. I take the sword and I go at it.
Go ahead and roll to hit.
Okay. Wow. That's a horrible roll. It's a 4 plus 7, so it's 11.
11 hits.
Oh, cool. All right.
So go ahead and roll for damage.
Well, that doesn't do shit. 1 plus 4, 5.
Okay, so it takes 5 damage.
Haven't hunted badger in a long time. Then I swing at it again. 16 plus 7, so unnatural 23.
That very hits.
Ooh, 3 plus 4, 7.
Describe how you kill this badger.
As swiftly, as quickly, it doesn't feel a thing. It's just on the floor, dead. Swift kill, clean kill. Just look over at Grimhilda, and I try to give her an intimidation glare like, this will be you if you do not stop.
All right, and now it is Imhotep's turn.
The first thing that Imhotep is going to do, so he's going to kind of, roll his shoulders a little bit. I did not very much appreciate that. I'm going to draw my Khopesh with one hand, and then I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon as a second ghostly Khopesh appears on my other side, just floating there. I'm going to turn and swing with the Spiritual Weapon and then swing with the Khopesh at the elk.
At the elk? Okay, so go ahead and roll to hit.
So let me do the Spiritual Weapon first because it's different from my Khopesh. Ooh, that's a nat 1.
So what I'll say with a nat 1, as you go to swing it at this elk, it catches it with its horns and pushes you back 10 feet.
Okay, that's fair, I guess. And my goons are only going to last me for one more turn, right?
Yes.
Okay. So as I get shoved back, the same feeling of when he really goofed up during the black pudding incident and is like losing control of the situation, which is not something he likes. He looks at the 2 skeletons who look like they're about ready to fall apart. And he looks at Granny Grimhilda, and as part of the Summon Undead ability, mine took the form of skeletons. So I'm going to have them both cast their Grave Bolt, which is a ranged spell attack with a range of 150 feet.
Oh.
On a hit, the target takes 2d4 plus my spellcasting modifier, so 7 necrotic damage.
Okay.
12. I should clarify, they're firing at Granny Grimhilda, so they're going to miss.
So they are going to miss.
Damn it. I'm so glad I wasted that. Oh, well. As the bones start to crumble away, Imhotep reaches his hand out, and for a split second, as the rest of the bones fall away, the skulls stay floating in the air, and they both turn into flaming skulls, and he points and they fire towards Granny Grimhilda.
And the flaming skulls spin around as they make their way towards her and go, ah!
So, I whiffed that entire turn. This was fantastic. I love it. Back to Granny.
Before it circles back to Granny Grimhilda, the lantern of Vordenberg on the ground is similarly surrounded by fungi, and a little bit of energy starts to seep out of the lantern and kind of bursts free of the plants holding it down. And then it is Granny Grimhilda's turn. And so she kind of looks down at the lantern, looks down at you two, and then makes a dash for it. So she's going to run and try and grab the lantern. So, Frankenstein monster, we're going to do an opposed sleight of hand.
Okay. Oh, fuck no. I'm burning my DM inspiration right now. No, what? Are you kidding me?
Did you roll worse?
No, it's the same. It was the same roll.
Well, she rolled a 14.
We're going to lose Vordenberg.
So she snatches Vordenberg and then swings at you with her claws. That's a 10.
That misses.
She has a multi-attack, so she's going to do it again. And that's a 14, so also not going to hit.
All right, but she's like right next to me, right?
She is right next to you.
Awesome. I draw the short sword and I stab her.
Before you do, it is the elk's turn.
Oh, that's right, elk. Sorry.
Who is going to try to ram you. It rolled a 16 to hit.
Oh, I got an idea.
Okay.
Since it misses, can I duck, trip the elk, and have it go right into Granny Grimhilda, forcing her to drop the lantern?
All right. Well, if you want to try that, make a dexterity save.
I get advantage. First roll is a 16 minus 1, so that would be a 15. And my second one is another 4. So yeah, 15 is what I got.
So with the 15 compared to its passive perception of 10, it is not able to stop as you jump out of the way, and it rams right into Granny Grimhilda, so she will take the hit. So that is going to be 16 damage.
Oh dear! I'll take the D4 psychic damage on this one if you want.
Take the D4.
I'll take it.
No, he just randomly develops the curse.
You know what? Yeah, since you...
No!
Since you took the curse away from Imhotep, you get it back now.
I rolled a 2. I'll take the damage. I'll take the second damage.
All right, take the 2 damage. And then she's going to roll a sleight of hand to try and maintain grip on Vordenberg. That's a 12. I'm going to say she drops him. So she drops the lantern of Vordenberg, and it is in between you, her, and the elk. So now it is your turn, Frankenstein monster.
Cool. First thing I'm going to do is grab Vordenberg and just tell Imhotep to run. Because what I want to do is I want to use, because I'm already in a rage, I'm just going to make the lightning come down on Grimhilda.
Okay, so that's a dex save. And that's a 19 plus 3, so that doesn't hit.
Ah, damn it all. How the hell did she miss? Oh, well.
The elk pushing her out of the way pushed her out of range of the lightning strike.
Okay, that works. Yeah, I'm just holding on to Vordenberg. I'm just telling Imhotep, run! And just bolt right on out of there.
So it is Imhotep's turn.
So I turn to leave, but as I do, I rip one of the what I assume are hopefully no longer ears, but patches.
They're back to patches.
I take one of the patches and I go, "Thank you for the gift. I hope it is beneficial." Ha! And I throw a patch at them as I start running away.
Okay, so let's roll a D100 to see what you get. That is a 5. So it's a dagger.
Oh, come on.
I will count it as a thrown dagger attack. So as you rip off the patch and chuck it at her, it does its thing where it contorts in the wind and swivels and swishes and then poofs into a dagger, still with all the momentum of your throw heading at her.
So roll a d20 plus 5.
Yep.
Unnatural 20.
Ooh.
That hits.
Okay. Total of 5. Imhotep is just that image of Moonlight. Red the bullshit, go!
As that attack hits her, she winces in pain, pulls it out of her, and just kind of tucks the dagger away, turning it back into a patch that she stuffs into her pocket. And then now that it is her turn, she sees the two of you making a break for it, and is going to cast, at 3rd level, Hold Person. So this will be targeting both of you. So you must both succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed.
Okay.
17.
14?
Imhotep, you are fine. Frankenstein monster, you are restrained.
Shit.
She shoots her hands out and weeds from the ground beneath you shoot up and wrap around your feet and drag you down. So you are paralyzed.
Damn it.
So as you are restrained and as Imhotep keeps running, she sends the elk back around after you.
Oh no.
It's going to back up and get a running start to charge right for you. And that is an unnatural 20.
Damn it, that hits.
So that is going to be... That'll be 5 damage.
Okay.
Because you are still raging.
Do I have to make a roll to hold on to the lantern, or...?
I will say you drop the lantern.
Damn it.
And that will end her turn. So now it is your turn.
Can I still do my... what's the range of my thunder?
You can still do your lightning bolt on the elk.
You're right, and I'm going to do my lightning bolt on the elk.
And it rolled a nat 1 on its save. So roll 2d6 lightning damage.
Ooh, 8 total.
All right. So go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw to try to break out of your paralysis.
15.
15's not going to do it, so you are still paralyzed.
Imhotep, grab the lantern. I'll take care of venison over here.
Okay, Imhotep, it is your turn.
First thing I'm going to do is, I'm going to pick up the lantern.
Okay.
I'm going to bonus action swing my spiritual weapon at the elk again. Ooh, nat 20.
Ooh.
All right, so go ahead and do double damage.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 damage.
Describe how you kill it.
As Imhotep picks up the lantern, I imagine the elk is jittering a little bit, but kind of rearing up to drop back down onto the Frankenstein monster. And as he does, Imhotep swings his arm, and the spiritual Kopesh comes in, slices, and just completely decapitates the elk.
Never mind.
Since that was a bonus action, my next action is to throw another patch at Granny Grimhilda, because I'm ready to be done with this cape.
Okay.
May I roll the D100?
Go for it.
I like rolling D100s. That is 75.
You throw the patch, and it spirals towards her and begins to morph and shift as it does before poofing into existence right above Grimhilda's head, a 12-foot rowboat.
The other one I was really looking forward to. So I'll take it.
You'll make a dexterity saving throw to try to get out from underneath it before it slams down on top of her.
Fail.
That's a 16.
Damn.
What is your spell save DC?
My DC is 15.
So what I'll say, she will take half damage from it. So she's going to jump out of the way and it'll still kind of catch her on the way down, and she will take a D6 of damage. That's a 1.
So she's going to take no damage?
She will take 1 damage.
Okay. So I have the lantern and my robe only has 2 patches left. As the rowboat lands, he just kind of looks and goes, huh.
And I'm also going, huh. Yeah. That's useful.
So, before it is Grimhilda's turn, Vordenberg's lantern is going to shudder a little bit, and the light kind of dims slightly. And then Imhotep, your Kopesh, erupts into radiant light.
This is in character. As he holds it out, he's going,
Don't let her get away. Your Khopesh attacks will deal an additional d4 of radiant damage.
I believe the vernacular is Papa-like.
Now it is Grimhilda's turn, and she, kind of seeing the fight going south, makes a desperate lunge at both of you. Her cloak kind of explodes out into feathers, and she leaps with a crazed look in her eyes and with, like, kind of rabid foam forming around her own mouth. She unhinges her jaw like a snake, and fangs pop down.
Oh, God.
As she makes a bite attack on the Frankenstein monster. Unnatural 20.
God damn it. That's piercing damage, right?
That is piercing damage.
Yay.
So that's going to be a d6 of piercing damage. So that's going to be just 1 for you. And then 4d8 poison damage.
But I'm resistant to poison. I can live with that.
So you will take an additional 6 poison damage.
Ugh, I'm not looking too hot.
And then she's going to swing at Imhotep with a claw attack. And that is a 19 plus 5.
Oh, that's a hit. That's a definite hit.
And that's going to deal 5 damage.
Okay. I'm fine.
And that will end her turn. So now it is the Frankenstein monster's turn.
Fry this bitch.
Oh, right to the point. Okay. She'll roll to dodge your lightning. And that's a 5.
Yeah.
So she will take the d6 lightning damage.
And she is going to get... God damn it, that's a 1.
All right, so she will take 1 damage.
Oh.
And now go ahead and make your wisdom save.
16 plus 2, 18.
18, you are no longer paralyzed.
Yay!
So now it is back over to Imhotep.
With his hands in the air, he's going to twist his hands so the blade moves back. It's 20 feet and is now hovering above Grimhilda. And he's going to drop the spiritual weapon on top of her.
Okay, go ahead and roll to hit.
24.
24 definitely hits.
So she takes 10 damage as the blade comes dropping down on top of her.
She will let out a hiss like a feral cat as that blade sinks into her spine and she arches back.
Mm-hmm. So above table, you said that I get a bonus of D4 radiant damage, which makes me wonder, should I be using radiant damage against her? So the way that I want to flavor the next attack is I'm going to take the Khopesh, point it at her, and start chanting in Coptic. And I'm going to instead use my cantrip of Sacred Flame. She has to go against my spell save DC, a dexterity saving throw. My DC is 15.
And that is a 9.
So she's going to take, since I am 5th level, it is 2d8 radiant damage. That's only 5.
As Imhotep is doing Sacred Flame, I'm just like, burn through the witches!
Frankenstein monster, do you currently have a weapon drawn?
I sheathed my sword, so no, I don't have a weapon drawn.
The Sword of Vengeance on your back starts to feel really, really, really hot. And you can see the light in Vordenberg's lantern flicker a little bit dimmer again. And that sword is getting more and more painful to the touch. And as you pull it out, the tip of it bursts into flames.
Oh, yeah. And I'm like, and I chuck it.
You can't because of the curse.
Damn it.
I just loved that.
Sorry, the reason why I said chuck it is because Frankenstein does not like fire, but it's getting really hot. And to douse it, I stab it inside Grimhilda.
On your turn, you can do that. But for now, after you've said burn through the witches, you draw your Sword of Vengeance and it bursts into flames.
Nice.
So now you see why I was really thrown when you said I chuck it.
Oh, okay.
I feel bad when you're like, I'm going to use Vordenberg to boost the power of your sword. I'm like, okay, but like the max possible damage that sword can deal is 13 and Sacred Flame deals a max possible 16, so.
No, that's fair. Anyway, so now it is Grimhilda's turn. She's going to go for Imhotep. She's going to run and try to swipe at you.
No, thank you, ma'am. No, thank you, ma'am.
And that's a 10.
That's a miss by 1 whole point. Woo! Oh, as much as I love the robe of useful things, I cannot wait to be rid of it and have an AC of 14 again.
So she makes a lunge at you, but still kind of reeling from the radiant damage and the light kind of twinkling in her eyes a little bit. She falls just short of you. And kind of turning away from the light, she's going to try to make another swipe at the Frankenstein monster. And that's a 19.
That hits.
So that will be... that's going to be 2 damage.
Okay. Oh boy.
And that's going to end her turn. So now it's back over to you.
Cool. Too bad she's not facing towards Imhotep, because I was going to try and stab her in the back and whisper, stab in the back. Like, made to hit, I was going to twist the blade and whisper, Dracula, in her ear.
You know, I'm going to say that she is facing Imhotep, so you do that.
Yes! 5 plus 7, 12.
Her body contorts like a snake and slithers around the sword. You do get your second attack, though.
That's what I'm going to do. Natural 20!
Ooh, killer.
All right, so double damage and double fire damage.
Jesus.
All right, I'm going to do the D4 first. I have the pill and the triangle of that set, so I'm going to do that. Oh my god, that's 2 4s.
Ooh.
She gets 8 fire damage, and my first D8, it's a D8 plus 4. Is she dead? It's 8 plus 4, 12.
And your second D8?
Oh my god. Oh my god, it's an 8 again! I am maxed out. Oh my god. 2 D8s plus 4, so that's a 12. So that's 24 that. And then, oh my god, I just did 32 damage in 1 turn.
As you do that attack, what is it you say?
So she's facing Imhotep. I missed the first time. I just go and I stab her. I'm like, stabbed in the back. Twist the blade and whisper, Dracula. And just twist it as hard as I can.
And she hisses in pain, and then a look of confusion crosses over her face, and she says,
Who?
My sword, you bitch. Dracula.
You... Oh, so you named the sword Dracula.
I don't know. That was the first thing. We can't all be Phantom here. I'm sorry.
Okay, okay.
point of inspiration.
Thank you.
So now it is over to Imhotep's turn.
My gosh, she's not dead yet.
She's a fucking hag, dude. Hags are scary. Okay, so I'm going to swing the sword. 15.
And a 15 will hit.
Okay. She's going to take 5 from the sword.
Okay.
For my next action, I'm going to once again use Sacred Flame. She's got to make a 15 dex save.
That's a 7.
So she doesn't make it, so she's going to take another 2d8 radiant damage. That is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 radiant damage.
Oh. So she kind of sloughs down to her feet and is looking incredibly unsteady. She is trying desperately to contort her way out of it.
While she's doing that, can I have Imhotep do something?
Go for it. What is it?
One hand is raised above his head as he is once again ready to drop the blade, and he's pointing his khopesh at her. Where are your bargains now, hag? That's all he's gonna say. He's just taunting her.
Inspiration. Okay. Where she's impaled by the sword, the wounds around her start to fester and bubble backwards as the hole kind of grows wider in her, and the ground beneath her starts to bloom up into hundreds of mushrooms as her mass is getting displaced, and she slides off the front of it, goes to make a bite attack at Imhotep.
No. That's no, thank you.
And that's a 9. She just misses completely, seeing triple, and then makes a claw attack. That's an unnatural 20.
Okay, that one hits, unfortunately.
And so that's going to deal 8 damage.
But saying I was doing fine, I'm not doing as fine anymore. I have 6 health left.
And that will end her turn. So now, Frankenstein monster, it is your turn.
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure she's not going to want to talk to us anymore. I'm going to bring the lightning down first.
That is a 14.
Ooh, mine's a 15. She fails.
So go ahead and do that D6 lightning damage.
That's a 1 on the damage.
So she's going to swing back around to face you, her face kind of contorting between different animal configurations as like whiskers pop up and recede, fangs kind of drip down and slide back up, and her face is just kind of melding in between a bunch of different forms, unable to really solidify on any one.
Gross.
And right before I take my swing, I look at her and say, "You could have avoided all of this if you just kept your word." And I go in to stab her.
Okay, go ahead and roll to hit with advantage.
That is a 14 plus 7, a natural 21 to hit.
That definitely hits.
That is a 7, so plus 4, 11 damage on my first attack.
Describe your killing blow.
As she's looking at me with her face contorting, I say what I say, and I take the sword that I guess is now christened Dragula, and I swipe it down, removing her contorting face from her shoulders. And as her head rolls, I take the tip of the sword and implant it into her face to burn her head.
As you decapitate her and her head rolls down towards you, it says in one kind of last gasping breath,
Is that any way to treat your dear granny?
I have no grandmother.
I am older than you.
We are the outcasts, the misfits you might say. We deal with the nightmares that you run away from every single day. We know the world is a gruesome little place, but us outsiders, we've developed quite a taste for the grisly and morbid, the ghastly and the horrid. We know it's awful dreadful, but we like it. Just another haunted night, shrouded with unearthly fright. So when you're oh so terrified, you know who to call. The world is falling apart, we'll never take it to heart. Some monsters and creatures and spirits and specters and all, let's all have a ball.
as you grab Vordenberg and start to make a run for it, the energy in the lantern kind of shifts a little bit, and he says, "Wait, before you get rid of me, do you have the Javelin of Lightning?"
I lost that javelin. I don't have that anymore.
Well, ignore this then. Did Janae take it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Janae still has it. Why? Because I could do like a thunder thing and just like raise the javelin and get thunderstruck and heal, and that would have been cool. Damn it all.
Yep, you gotta make her stop hoarding stuff. She still has the candle from the crypt.
Oh, she does. You know what? Next time I see her, I'm gonna make a note of that.